What's up, guys? Welcome back. First things first, we've got a new filter for the turtle tank, so now I don't have to remember to turn it off because when I forget, it sounds like we're scuba diving. I have this big can of pumpkin, and I know there's all kinds of things you can use pumpkin for. So I took to Instagram to ask some people what I should make with this, and I got a couple of good answers, and we have 29 ounces worth of pumpkin, so I think I'm going to go ahead and make some of my favorite answers from that poll. But without further ado, let's start making our first thing.
All right, so our first snack is going to be pumpkin scones.
The oven is preheated to 400 degrees, and in this bowl we have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, 2.5 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, a half teaspoon of salt, and a half cup of butter will be added later.
I start with our wet ingredients. A half a cup of sour cream, followed by a half a cup of our pumpkin, a third of a cup packed brown sugar, 1 egg, and a splash of vanilla. It says a teaspoon, but I can eyeball it. And then we'll whisk these together. All right, now that that's whisked, we're going to put this off to the side and bring back our dry ingredients, add in our butter, and I have a clean whisk. And we're mixing until coarse crumbs form. Okay, I'm assuming this is what is meant by coarse crumbs. So I think we're ready to go ahead and add in our wet ingredients. And in go our wet. And then I'll start mixing with the spatula. Now I'll put this off to the side and get the surface ready
to roll out the dough.
Boop. Our goal is to roll it into a ball. So call that a ball. And we're going to flatten that out.
Who's your daddy?
And shape into 8-inch triangles. All right. Now these guys are going to chill in the fridge for 15 minutes and then we'll put them in the oven. All right. These are the cooled scones. They feel ready to go in the oven, so we're going to throw them in. They go in for 14 to 16 minutes, so not long at all. All right, our scones are out of the oven, and look at these. They're huge. My goodness. Wow. Probably could have cut them a little smaller, but geez, wow. So what we're going to do is let these guys cool before we put the glaze on top. And that'll take about, I would say 10, 15 minutes at the earliest, but we'll check back in. So we'll put those off to the side while they cool. Now while we're waiting for the scones to cool, we're going to get started on the glaze that we'll just put in the fridge while we wait. There's already 1 cup of confectioner's sugar, and to that I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of pumpkin, about a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, some extra cinnamon, and finally 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. And I'll mix it with a fork. I think I'm going to add a dash of water too. Or probably about a tablespoon to maybe, I'll probably only use half a tablespoon. It's very thick. I want to thin it out a little bit. Look at that. Yeah, it looks great. And I'll put a cap on this, put it in the fridge, and we'll wait till the scones come out. So the scones are back, and I think they're ready to be glazed on. These are ginormous. So I don't even know if I can fit the glaze in the frame. But you remember the glaze, we just did it. And I think probably grabbing a spoon would be the best course of action. I need to get one of those brushy thingies. Please. Cassie, if you're watching this, thank you for suggesting scones. I haven't eaten them yet, but they look delicious and they were a lot of fun to make. I've never done anything like this before. So I appreciate your suggestion. These are glazed to the max. Now we're gonna get spicy with the Halloween sprinkles. Oh, this is so fun. Oh my goodness. I feel like I've channeled the energy of that sponge lady. I get it now, why she was so excited to do sponges. Just like I'm excited to do food. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, they'd make a good breakfast. They'd fill you up and, you know, they look pretty good. So there we have the first recipe, our pumpkin scones. I think we're ready to move on to the next thing. Let's do it. Now we're going to get started on chocolate chip pumpkin bread. The oven is preheated to 350 degrees and I went ahead and greased a small loaf pan.
I've also pre-mixed the dry ingredients for this as well. It's 1.5 cups of flour along with a half teaspoon of baking powder, salt, baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice.
So I'll put that back off to the side and bring back a smaller bowl for the wet ingredients.
1 whisked egg.
Now into it we're going to add half cup of oil, a half cup of sugar and brown sugar. Our friend Vanilla's back. Oh, that was a lot. A whole cup of pumpkin. And now we're gonna mix that together. Now, just like last time, we're gonna bring the dry ingredients back. Put a little spatula in there and pour everything together. Hold on to that. And we're mixing it until it forms a bread dough. And now we're gonna add 1 whole cup of chocolate chips. Right, well that's a cup, but I think we need all the goodies that are at the bottom of the bag. And a flecks of chocolate.
Now we're going to fold in the chips.
All right. See if I can pour this in without making a gigantic mess. I don't know how to hold it. All right, here we go. No turning back now. Looking pretty good. All right. I think it's ready to go in the oven. It'll go in for about an hour. So this one's a lot longer. So we'll just throw it in and we'll see what it looks like after. You guys, look at that. That's beautiful. Where are all the knives? Ah! Oh, that's the chocolate though. All right, we're gonna give this a minute to cool. Well, more than a minute. And then we'll be able to make our last thing. The last thing that we're gonna make is somewhat of a wild card. I was recommended to try a pumpkin smoothie, which to me sounds kind of nasty, but I think we can kind of spin it to make it good. So we'll give it a shot. And I'm not gonna measure any of the things that I put in here. So I have my oat milk that I'm gonna pour in and make sure the bottom's secure on the blender. Now I'm going to pour in some milk. And then I think I'm going to use the rest of the pumpkin, or try to. I got a fork. Okay, we'll put that off to the side. Definitely some pumpkin pie spice. Probably about a tablespoon. A little bit of maple syrup in lieu of sugar. And depending on how that goes, oops, depending on how it goes, I might add a banana. But should I add cinnamon? Yeah, I'm gonna add cinnamon. Grab my cinnamon. I feel like I'm missing something. Let me go get some ice. Here we go. Pop the top on. It's so orange. Oh my goodness. Should have added some carrots or something. Pour it into a cup. Not bad. Grab a straw. And here we go. It needs a banana. I'm sorry. I can't. It needs something else. Let's try banana. Maybe some more maple syrup too. It doesn't hurt. Maybe some maple syrup. I don't know. Let's try this. All right. This doesn't help, I forfeit. Whew. Take my straw back. That's what I needed. Oh man. Oh, that's really good. Oh, it's so good. I can't help but zone out and drink it. It's so good. So it's about a cup and a half to 2 cups of pumpkin, maple syrup, pumpkin pie spice, cinnamon, milk of your choice, and a banana. It looks like I'm in pain, but I really like it. All right, let's do an outro. All right, there you have 3 different recipes you can make using pumpkin. We have the pumpkin scones with the cinnamon pumpkin glaze. We have chocolate chip and pumpkin bread. That's going to be really good. Of course, I already ate the heel. It was delicious. And finally, our experimental pumpkin smoothie. And they're all winners, guys. I'm very impressed. You know, it's tough. You know, I'm not a huge pumpkin fan, but I do like it. And I wanted to try something other than pie. You know, the traditional pumpkin recipes. And I had a lot of fun experimenting. I'd never made scones before. Oh, they're so good. I made bread before. Like, I just followed a zucchini bread recipe and replaced the zucchini with pumpkin. Delicious. I made this up on the fly. Delicious. Definitely recommend you try these at home. It's perfect for fall or Halloween or anything. Especially if you add Halloween sprinkles to your scones. But that'll be it for me today. I had a lot of fun making all of these, and I do not look forward to the dishes, but I'll get those done, and I'll catch you on the next one. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.